Hello, everyone. Yes, I am back right now. So, yes, earlier on we had some technical issues, but you know what's the best part? We all learn from the incident. That's right. And eventually, within a while, I actually saw a lot of people commenting as well. In the same time, many of you all have also messaged us, hey, what exactly has happened? And I think that is the best part. You know, if every experiences, that we learn something. And technically, to be very honest, this is the first time I'm having an issue on this. But nevertheless, I'm going to invite the speaker for today, Dr. Ravee Vellu. Is a mind science consultant and a motivational speaker as well. Hello, Dr. Ravee.
Hi, Ivan. How are you?
I am good. So, how about you?
I'm good.
Doctor. Before we even start this topic, I'm going to say this, right? If you notice, for the past 10 minutes, there was a little bit of chaos up and down, right?
Yes, right.
There's some people got panicked, and I saw a few of the comments, and then few of them messaging, and so on and so forth. So, I think because of this topic, I think it's going to be very interesting. It's about the mind, it's about the body, how our mind actually absorb any kind of situation. Are we calm? Are we panicking? Are we in a state of confusion? So, what is your experience in this, Doc? I mean, what we went through. Probably this is nothing for you, but I know there are a few comments that I saw also. Oh, please call the media corp to fix this issue, and so forth. Perhaps it might be on a lighter side of the joke, but hey, you know what? That's a kind of a sense of, when someone does 100 things where you don't spot a mistake, but the moment you spot a small mistake, and that goes, right? So, what do you think about this situation before we even kickstart our topic today?
In fact, today we are going to talk about a psychophysical unit, right? Yeah. So definitely there's going to be an element of psychology, philosophy, and spirituality to a certain extent. And in fact, the intro itself, where we could not hear the audio, it reflects a lot on everyone. You see, we all expect something to happen in life, right? And something goes wrong. We are not able to adapt to it immediately. We get panicked. And that is what exactly mind and body is all about. We should be ready at all levels, at physical level, as well as the mental level. So I would rather say the first 10 minutes was a kind of a test for us today.
Actually, to be very honest to the audience who are watching this isn't any setup at all. All right,
yeah, exactly. It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I saw, Doc, is a lot of people who are into, they are very just super excited. Hey, your volume is not working. I'm seeing a lot of engagement that. So I probably, with a full gratitude, thank you for all the audience who are joining back again.
Yeah, I mean, we should praise them for their enthusiasm, their eagerness. That's what we should be actually applauding them for.
Yeah. And I'm not sure who actually sent a comment, call the media corp actually for info. I don't know. But I don't think I need MediaCorp because it is not from MediaCorp. It's from Kopi events. All right. Okay, we are going to jump into the topic, Doc. MindScience consultant. All right. I mean, every one of us knows what motivational speaker is about. What is MindScience consultant? What do you really do?
Okay, basically what I do is, like I said, my specialty is metaphysical science. So I specialize in an element of psychology, philosophy, as well as spirituality. So it's all about how we actually think. How do we enhance our positivity skills, and how do we get motivated even in times where things doesn't really go good? So that's what exactly mind science is about. How do you actually kind of do an engineering to your brain or to your mind to cater to all situations and keep up with the positivity? That is what actually mind science is all about.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you for
Yeah.
the very quick, very simple introduction about the mind science. And think,
We will go deeper
I
into
think,
that later. Yeah.
of course, but
Mhm.
at this current endemic or pandemic, we can't call
Mhm.
it. A lot of people are going through anxiety. A lot of people are
Yeah.
going through depression, and a lot
Mhm.
of other mental related issues. Right? Psychology is always seen as a disease model.
Mhm.
Because you only have an issue. But do you think we can prevent all this before an event can happen?
You see, one thing about this, whatever happens in the universe, in metaphysics, we believe that it happens for a good. And we hardly can control the situations that's going to happen around us. But what we can do is we can control the way we are going to handle it. That is more important. How prepared are we? In a time of crisis, how strong are we to handle the situation? Are we really ready to really face the outcomes? That is what is more important here. And we should train our mind that everything will not go accordingly the way we think it should go. It won't. Somehow or other, some kind of a mishaps happen, some kind of a disasters happen, some kind of endemic pandemic will happen, and we have to face it in this universe. And we have to get ourselves emotionally equipped, psychologically equipped, spiritually equipped, and of course, physically equipped. So it lies on us how we are going to manage this.
Doctor, in most of your speech,
Mm,
or at least what in my understanding is that you speak a lot of spiritual, you speak a lot of mind, you speak a lot of
mhm,
attitude, characters,
mhm.
something which I always talk about as well.
Yes.
When you talk about spiritual, I mean, not many will be in line or inclined with spiritual, and some will not even do meditation, or some will not
Mm,
even want to talk about, positivity. They're always in
mm.
a state of the emotion will suppress
Uh-huh.
them. And and what will be the situation if they keep on proceeding to that area?
Okay, in the first place, first, in my understanding, my definition of spirituality is it is not only about God, or it is not about rituals, it's not about meditation. Spirituality, in my understanding, is the transformation of the mind from one state of positivity to another state of positivity. Like, say, for example, if you are 20 years old and somebody were to scold you, and what is your immediate reaction? You'll scold them back, right? Because why? We are impatient, we get agitated, we feel that our ego is at stake, and we eventually scold them back. But what happens after some time, 30 years old, 35 years old, 40 years old, when someone scolds you and you start realizing that this guy is acting on some kind of ignorance, and I don't really need to scold him back? Why not we just bless him? Why not we just ignore him, or rather forgive him? That transformation is called spiritual growth. So spirituality doesn't only come with prayers, with association with God, or with meditation alone. It is a mind transformation from one state to another state. So as such, every human being actually by right is a spiritual nature. We are all spiritual in every. Some people used to ask me this question: sir, are you very spiritual? I said, who isn't spiritual? Everyone is spiritual in their own aspect, in their own direction, in their own dimension. So spirituality is not about who is spiritual and who is not spiritual. We are all spiritual in to a certain level. To which degree we are going to enhance this spirituality in this birth, in this life, is what matters. So everyone should make some kind of an effort to transform this mind, the thought patterns, from a negative state to a positive state, or from a positive state to a better positive state. And that is what spirituality is all about. So for those people who doesn't believe in this, they let's not look it from spiritual angle then. Then let it look it from psychological angle then. We all need to transform. So why not we have a psychological transformation? Right? So even would I ask you, how did you feel when 10 minutes ago the audio did not work?
To be very honest, I was dancing behind. Before every
Yes.
show, I dance, and I was like, "Wow, you know what? It's a reset. Wow, what's the new problem here, man?
Yes.
Like what you say, Doc. You if you see a problem as a problem
Mhm.
and you let the
Mhm.
emotions control you, you
Mhm.
are sad. I don't want to use the word sad.
Mhm.
In a way that how do you channel your emotions? Of course, Doc. It is very important to address the emotions, But
Mhm.
in situations such like this, if you lose your calmness, if you lose your focus, if you are panicked towards the situation, then you are in the biggest chaos ever been.
Yes,
So
exactly.
so we just have to look back and say, hey, you know what? Option one doesn't work. Then what's option two, option three? So in life, we should have many options so that we can
Exactly.
look forward for. And that's one
Yes.
of the technical principles that I always follow, and I always believe in that.
Yes, exactly. We have to, you see, like I just mentioned, life is not going to just go the way we think it is going to
Sure.
go. In fact, to be very frank, for most of us, 80% of what we plan might not even materialize. So we always need to have a contingency plan. We always need to think, if this doesn't work, what is the next plan that I'm going to take? If A is not working, shall I go to B? If B is not working, shall I go to C? And some people even ask me, so then what happens if we come to Z? I say, don't worry, we start with A1.
Yep.
Oh yes, so you got A2, A3. So there's no such thing as you give up or you are going to cry over the spilled milk. They say, for example, just one, and you see, like if this situation were to happen to you, maybe when you were about 10 years old, that you were going on a live program and suddenly the audio is not working, you most probably would have cried backstage. And then you said, I don't want to go to the stage anymore. I think it's going to be a biggest turnout and everything. But now at this age, you just take it cool. You go and rectify the situation. You came up with another link, and we are going on with the program. This is what I call a spirituality or a spiritual transformation. That means from a stage of panicking at one point of time, today we are taking it cool, we are facing it, and we are going to the next step. That is all spirituality is about, and that is what we all need in our daily life.
Well said, doctor. But
Hmm.
often people say that, you know what, Vance or no, Dr. Ravi, it's so easy for you guys to say that. But I'm facing the situations and I'm
Hmm.
facing the challenges at this point of time. But
Hmm.
doc, there is always a transformation or the kind of news or whatever that we receive actually will affect us immediately if we allow that emotions to take control. One of the things that maybe I just want to share with you quickly, that only thing that I will let my emotions control is death. Because for
Hmm.
death, I think we need to acknowledge, we need to spend good time to come
Yep.
with that, but then make it a very good memory so that we can revisit the past, come back to the current, but then we
Hmm.
don't need to live in the future with fear. So in this
Hmm.
mechanism of operations, that it's always like blissful. But what, in your words, you will encourage or your advice for our audience?
You see, first thing is, if you really want to have a positive mindset, you need to have, or rather cultivate, the power of acceptance. Like I just mentioned, everything is not going to go the way you have planned it.
Yep.
So we can plan for A, but B might happen. You must create the power of acceptance to say that yes, A is not there, but B is there. Now let me accept this B and work towards that B. That is something that we need to develop, and that is where you need tutors or mentors or trainers who come into the picture and guide you the methods. So it's everyone's responsibility not to cry over the spilled milk. Yes, I can understand. A lot of people, in fact, tell me it's very easy to say, but when come to practice, it's not easy. The truth is, nothing is easy in this world. Everyone who attains success, let me tell you, they put in their heart and soul, they worked hard, they faced many, many, many failures, and finally they mastered the art of accepting what is reality, and that is where they actually succeeded finally. So this is something that everyone is to come up with. For some people, it's inbuilt. Some people are natural leaders or natural positive vibrative people. They don't need anyone to push them. But majority of them need some kind of a guidance or a mentorship or some kind of a classes kind of a concept where they start learning all these things. So it's our responsibility to go and learn.
Doctor,
Yeah.
out of the English context, right?
Uh-huh.
தமிழ்ல சொன்னாங்க காதுல
Uh-huh.
வந்து தேன் அப்படி கொட்டுது. It
Uh-huh.
is, if we tell in English, it's honey just pouring into the ears. I think
Yes.
what you said is 100%
Yeah.
absolutely the truth. It's the how we actually operate and how we
Hmm.
are accepting it. But
Yeah.
often, doctor, I think the biggest challenge for a lot of us is that acceptance is one issue, but another issue is they are focusing 90% of the problem, or rather 95% of the problem, 5% on the solution. Then how can the energy flow more to the negativity rather than the positivity? And that what you talk as well. So maybe perhaps now we can touch base on the energy system. of what is this energy all about?
Okay, before we step into the energy system, you see, people have to understand that they have various minds that they're working with. Like, although we are one physical body, right? We are one body, and we have one soul. That's what it's classified as. But if you really were to look from the psychological point, you have various minds working inside you, or rather talking to you. Say, for example, in my usually most of my courses, I highlight this: the intelligent mind and the emotional mind. The intelligent mind always teaches you logic. That means if you fall down, you have to get up. That's what the intelligent mind says. But the emotional mind will say, I fell down, let me cry. Let me blabber for a moment. Let me lament for a moment. Why did I fall down? Why did somebody push me down? Why did this happen to me? Why must happen to me? So the emotional mind kinds of gives them a sign of a, what do you call this? A self-pity satisfaction. And people love that. They have to break that. They have to come out from that point where self-pity is giving them some kind of a consolation. They have to come out. Yes, I fell down. Logical mind says, let's get up. If I'm injured, I'll see a doctor. If I'm not injured, I'll go back home. But the emotional mind said, I fell down. Let me cry for a moment. So that is where people have to understand that energy itself sometimes can be external or internal. The external energy, whoever is disrupting you, whoever is spoiling your day, whoever is negative, let's put it one side first. But what kind of internal energy do you circulate? Do you have the positive vibrations with you, or are you more comfortable with the negative vibration? You have to decide. And only the moment when you decided that, no, I am not going to set any of these negative vibrations set on me, you automatically think the otherwise and said, okay, I'll get up and I walk. So what now? I fell down. It's okay. I'll get up and walk. That's how it works. Like simple tortoise and hare story. You see, whenever you talk about the tortoise and hare story, right? People usually say the hare won, the tortoise won because the hare slept, right? Everybody say that, yeah, it slept. But the truth is, it is not only because the hare slept. The tortoise was confident, was positive to say, I will still take part in the race, although I am slow. That is the factor that caused the tortoise to win. It is not only because the hare slept, not because of that. Hare slept is one part, but tortoise did not give up. Tortoise said, I will do it. I am slow, but doesn't matter. I will do it. And that is what constituted to the success of the tortoise.
So even though I'm going to be last, I
Mhm.
will be keep moving ahead, whatever the
Mhm.
circumstance or what kind of situation or whatever challenges is true. Doc. I
Mhm.
mean, like, coming back again, um, do you think that, or shall we think that without problems and challenges, our life will be pretty boring? Because
Definitely.
it is just like a monotonous, right? 9 to 5, 9 to 5.
Definitely.
Imagine, and everything just
Mm.
wish and it happens for you. I think you will be in such a miserable condition because
You see, I
everything you
like
want
to,
comes.
I'm quite sure you heard about Swami Vivekananda.
Yes.
Swami Vivekananda's favorite quote, something that I love. If
Yeah.
everything is going perfect in your life, something major wrong is happening. That means there's no evolution process going on. Evolution or soul changes or some kind of a mental state change takes place
Right.
only when some kind of hardship, disasters happen in your life. Just put it one and just put it this way. You ask yourself, a lot of changes that happen in your life was not during your happy moments. It was
No.
because of some kind of hardship, disappointment, embarrassment that made you think and transform you to the next level. If a caterpillar were to transform and come out to be a butterfly, it must break the cocoon. If there's no cocoon, it will not value the value of life. So there must be some kind of hardship at times, some kind of disappointment, some kind of embarrassment that makes one think. And that thought process is very, very needed for a soul's evolution. If not, everything is going to be like, I came, I lived, and I died. That is not life.
Doctor, I just have to. I think the for the rest, what we call another 40 minutes of. I just have
Mhm.
to keep on agreeing with you because it's absolutely thousand over times
Mhm.
agreeable because it's the mind, yeah, how you condition oneself, right? If they think that this the situation that is bothering them, and then probably they need to look at the situations and said, okay, look, I'm at this junction right now, what I need to do. But
Mhm.
often it been drained and sucked in into the emotions, and then it becomes a memory, and then it will lead to a lot of other mental condition issues that
Yeah,
we can talk about, anxiety,
true.
depressions, and this is the highest period of time that we see there's this big spike. Even if you look at the local papers or hear in the radios or newses,
Mm,
we hear constant news about that because of the
mm.
uncertainty of this current era of the world.
True.
Is there any way someone can come out from it, Doc?
Okay, let me tell you why this situation happens. I asked you a simple question once. If
Yeah.
your hand got a cut, quite a deep cut, and it's always bleeding, what do you think you will do?
Put it first aid, attend to first aid,
Okay.
wash it out,
Then if
make
it's
sure it's
still
still
bleeding
doctor.
badly,
Then have to go and see a doc immediately.
exactly. So who do you see? A doctor. Who is a doctor? A medical professional, right? So when the body is injured, right? When the body is some kind of ailments, people somehow or other got no choice but to see a medical doctor. But when mentally they are affected, when emotionally they are down, they don't like to see a professional easily. They wait till the last resort, then finally they see a consultant or a counselor or a psychiatrist or whoever. So, my opinion is, or rather, my suggestion is, whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're in some kind of a dilemma, whenever you got some kind of an emotional crisis going on within you, if you can't solve it within the next 2 to 3 days, you need to seek professional help. And that professional will be able to guide you, bring you out from the situation at the soonest possible time. But unfortunately, most of them do not seek professionals, and they start talking to their own friends, uncles, aunties, telling them, and these people actually talk about the negative side of the problem rather than the solution. And that is why a lot of things are not being solved. To be very frank, I've seen many people who come to me, the moment they speak to me or they seek any other consultants, their problems can be solved within the next few minutes or maximum 1 hour. But if you were to ask them, they would have been holding it for the last few months. Why? It's not needed. So if you got an issue, if you feel down, if you feel that emotionally something is not right, you need to talk to a professional as much as physically if you're hurt. And that is what people should really do before cultivating other habits.
And also could be also because of lots of stigma, when the moment
Yeah.
you say that, you are going
Hmm.
to, in the society, this is what the real thing happen is, right? When it can 10,000 of things can go right,
Yes.
as long as one little tiny bit that went a little, you see the entire world will just hop on it. And especially
Mhm.
for mental issues,
Mhm.
condition that actually caused
Mhm.
by a lot of things, doc, like burnout.
Yes.
Someone
Mhm.
working 15, 16 hours a day without any luxurious
Mhm.
hobbies, or even for themselves, they do go into burnout, and burnout will definitely go into depression
Yeah.
and lead to other mental condition issues. But doctor, there's one question that also we all want to ask you is that some spend hours of time taking care of the body but ignoring the soul, and some will also disagree, oh, there's no soul in it. But in your expertise,
Mhm.
what will be the best for the both worlds, the body and the soul?
Okay, I think now we are stepping into our topic,
Yeah.
psycho-physical unit. Okay, we have to come to an understanding that every human beings, we are composed of these two elements, psychological side as well as the physical side. That is why we are called psycho-physical unit. So we are two components. So when we say that we are two components, if you want a happy life, you want a very blissful life, you must take care of these two components. That means at the mental state, which is the psychological state, or the combination of minds, we call it the soul, has to be taken care. At the same time, the physical body itself should be taken care. If your physical body is not good or your physical body is not happy, your mental state will be certainly not happy. Likewise, if your mental state is not happy, your physical body will be affected. See, a small example will be like, say, if somebody tells you that you're diagnosed for some kind of a illness, for the next 1 to 2 months, we can't eat properly. We'll be sad. We don't got no more to go to the work. Why? Because the physical body got some kind of ailments and we realized it, our mind is affected. Likewise, if you're going to be mentally stressful over a long period of time, eventually your body will fall sick. You won't have the energy in the body to sustain the activities that it should do. So, this is why we call a psychophysical unit. In other words, if you want a very happy life, we should take care of the body as well as the mind. Like in your question was that what happens if somebody are taking so much care of the soul? When you say soul, it's a collective mind. That means all your conscious mind, unconscious mind, subconscious mind, your logical mind, your emotional mind, everything when consolidated. In metaphysics, we classify that as soul. So when this mind is affected and you're not going to take care, it definitely going to affect your body, right? So you should, likewise, you have to take charge of your body, make your body as healthy as possible so that this soul actually lives happily. So no point just concentrating on one. If you're just going to concentrate for a healthy mind and your body is going to be deteriorating, you can't live well. And you have a very, very healthy body, but your mind is always in the negative state, then you can't live a happy life as well. So it's our responsibility to balance both.
Doc, some people are just super stubborn, right? It probably is their character. We can't change character. There's a lot
Yeah,
of different kind of people in the world that makes
yeah,
the entire world.
exactly.
If someone who is just reluctant to move up, or like you said, that if you want to see changes, you got to make that move. You got to make that change.
Mm,
But if the person is just reluctant and just sitting down, and then I call it pity potty, you're sitting down and getting empathy from a lot of people,
mm,
or
mm,
sympathy, and you don't want to move. And eventually, that story is going to be ending is going to be quite tremendous, because
mm.
they're not going to see any growth. They're not going to see success. They're not going to see anything that's soft. Um, do you face in your expertise with these kind of people that you have handled before? Eventually, they
Yes,
come
of
and say,
course.
"But I need help."
You see, a lot of people want help, but sometimes you need to help yourself for others to help you. They fail to realize that. A help cannot be just a one way process. If you want help, you must be readily available to receive that help and help yourself in the first place. I've seen many cases where people used to say that, I don't want to go for causes, I don't exercise, I don't want to meditate, I don't pray, I don't this, but they don't want problems. Impossible. Definitely impossible. If you want food, you must cook,
Yeah.
right? You must cook. Even if you go to the food and buy, if you go to the shop and buy, you need the money, you to work. So there's no such thing as anything that you're going to get free in this life. So for those people who feel that they don't want to work or they don't want to do any kind of hard things, they don't want to meditate, they don't want to take care of the body, then definitely they need more help from the external sources. That's where the family members have to step in, or the colleagues, whoever, friends have to step in and push them to the next level. If not, they're going to deteriorate further in their life. And for those people who really refuse to get help, too bad, sometimes their life will be full of hardship and they'll continue suffering.
Thank you, Doctor, for that. And for viewers who are watching this, the last 15 minutes of the show, we go to have Q&A. So if you do have a particular question to engage Dr. Ravee, please type it in, and then we will take it out, all right? But of course, we are still in the psychophysical unit, something very interesting about the energy system, about the universe, and so on and so forth. But Doctor, just a little sidetrack on that. We are going to talk about the universe. We talk about the energy. So, there is a saying that whatever we say, the universe is actively listening to us. So it's something like this, dog. Okay. I get into a taxi and I say, Uncle, go to Jurong East. Every 5 minutes, I keep on changing the destination. Probably I will never reach my destination in my entire life. So, in your
Exactly.
expertise, dog, what is this universe is about, and what is this active listening and passive listening? Some say, some don't say, but in your expertise.
You say universe when you want to, okay, if you want to put it in a technical term, then we say it is our Earth, then all the other planets, the outer planets, the galaxy, the Milky Way, we consider the entire thing to be a universe, right? But if you were to ask me from a metaphysical point, what is universe? The universe is nothing but the space of your mind that it is being occupied with. So whatever you think the universe is the universe there. So if you were to ask me how to control these or how to get things done in the universe, that is where you need to focus your mind. You need to have a certain guidelines of what you exactly want in your life. You have to concentrate your energy in that manner. And that is where affirmations, meditations, and all those things steps in. You see, if you were to understand, if you were to ask me about spiritual context, on a spiritual context,
Yeah.
how to be focused, or rather how to get things achieved. Yes, first step is practical. Do what's supposed to be done, right? The second part is you empower the thoughts. So how you empower the thoughts? You first come up with what exactly you need in your life. Second thing, like what you say, you don't every 5 days you change your destination. Be certain this is what you want, and this is what you're targeting, and this is what you want to go for.
Yeah.
And you say, keep on saying affirmations. Yes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. When you start saying it, yet let the universal energy work on you. That's one part. The other part is when you're always saying something and you're always thinking about it, you naturally will do activities related to that destination. So that itself will give you the power to attain whatever you want. So the energy part, yes, of course, it works from a metaphysical point. The physical part is you have to do what's supposed to be done. You can't be sitting at home and every day you manifest that you want to get a bachelor's degree, but you don't go for any courses and you don't go for the exam. It's not going to work. So as much as you're manifesting that you want a degree, you also have to put the effort to study, go to school, do your assignments, and sit for the exam. See, sometimes I get very worried with people who talks about energy and the metaphysical forces, and it should not be blinded. Do not be carried away by the extra normal things that's going to happen, and you just stay put in your place. That's wrong. Metaphysics or universal energy doesn't work that way. Every energy in the universe works according to the energy that's given into. So we have to understand. So if, say, for example, if we want the light bulb to be lighted, right? If we want a light bulb to be lighted, you need the filaments inside. You need the correct gas inside. That energy must be present there so that the electrical energy actually penetrate and the bulb lights up. When you don't have that energy inside the bulb, how much of universal energy or the powers that you're going to give electrical energy, the bulb will never light up. So it works both ways. Universal energy is one, your energy is the other. Both must synchronize together.
Beautiful said.
Yeah.
Like I said, I always have to agree with what you said today. It's on spot, bullseye, right? And also for the viewers, if you are listening this, it is one of the practices that I used to do, and probably Dr. Ravee also can give advice on that. So, Doc, the early in the morning, which is say 6 a.m., and I'm saying, oh, it's a lousy day. It is the worthless day. Oh, I'm this, I'm that,
Okay.
automatically everything will just set upon for you just as you wished, because the
Mhm.
emotions, the energy are focusing for what you have actually asked for.
Yes.
And is it often that we are something like a wishing tree? If we wish and we work for it, we go all out it, we get it. Do you
Yes.
agree
Okay.
with the statement? Doc?
You see, this part of it is some people, I've heard that many people are saying if you say something negative in the morning, then the whole day is going to be negative. Why? Very simple. It's not because you said something and that is happening. No. You said something negative. Your conscious mind starts believing it. Your unconscious mind starts acting accordingly. Your subconscious mind strongly believes that something negative is going to happen. Naturally, when your subconscious mind is believing that something negative is going to happen, you won't have the momentum to do what is supposed to be done right. And you will naturally give way to the negativity to set in. And eventually, end of the day, you're going to say, you see, as I said in the morning, everything went bad. Actually, you are the cause for it.
Yeah.
So that sometimes when we say positive words, positive affirmations, it is not because of the mystical world needs to work. It's because we have to work in a mystical way.
So we are the problems, we are the solutions.
Obviously.
Right,
Obviously.
viewers, if you're
Yeah.
watching this, please do share and like.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
great conversations going on with Dr. Ravee. Vellu is a mind science consultant and a motivational speaker. I'm enjoying the show, and I'm sure you are enjoying as well. There's more questions to engage Dr. Ravee on the topic. But
Mhm.
Doctor, one of the part that we always want to say, all right, in a daily basis, that some can practice all these necessary things. They do meditation, they're
Mm.
doing all this focus. Somehow or other, all kind of problems will just fall upon on their feet
Mhm.
or on top of them. And even though
Mhm.
how much they break it through and just force it through and keep on going, sometimes there's no light in the tunnel for some
Mhm.
reason.
Mhm.
Some of them super positive, they can be super negative during
Mhm.
this
Yes.
journey of,
Mhm.
and how one can evolve from that and to look for the light.
Okay. See, sometimes I can understand. Some people are really hit in their life to a very hard level, and no matter what they try, they may not succeed in whatever they want to succeed. See, again, there is an element of debatable issue here. How much have you tried? Are you trying the correct thing? See, sometimes, like say for example, you're buying a radio, right? MediaCorp is sending off all the songs and all, right? So many channels, right? Almost about 10 to 12
Yeah,
channels they have.
yeah.
But if you want 96.8 or if you want class 95, you must know how to tune the transmitter in the radio to 95. And that is where you're going to receive the songs. If you are not going to tune in your radio to class 95, no matter how much you try, you're not going to get class 95 stations into your radio. What this guy will say is, my radio is faulty. The wise man will say, I didn't know how to tune. So for someone, they tried so hard and yet nothing is moving, they are not trying in the correct way. They are not having the correct mentor to guide them and say where the wrong is happening. That is where they need the professional help and find out exactly where could be the problem. For some people, it can be a biological issue. For some people, it can be a psychological issue. For some people, it can be even a spiritual issue that's come under parapsychological. So they have to address it. That is where they need to get a professional help, find out where exactly they are going wrong. And from there, they have to synchronize the whole thing and come back. There is no such thing in personal belief or say, I wouldn't believe that there's no solution for any hardship. It's you're not putting it enough. Like a simple philosophy. It's a story about a Buddhist monk. This Buddhist monk told this guy that you got some ailments. Go to the doctor, and he will give you a injection, and you'll be cured. So after 1 week, the guy came and said, "I'm still sick. How? Increase the dosage, because that medicine is the cure. So now, if it's not working on you, you have to increase the dosage. That's it. Don't try to change another medicine. That medicine will work. It's just the dosage is not enough for you. So likewise, you're trying so hard, yet you're not successful. Try harder. There's more other ways. Do smarter ways. There could be alternative ways. Think wider.
Doctor, this reminds me of a story of what we call the placebo.
Mm-hmm.
If someone comes to you, and
Mm-hmm.
apparently you have this magic pill, right? Just take one magic pill and you're gone. But it's just a pure sugarless sweet, because we want to promote sugar, content food or sweets right now. So as long they believe in it, or this is going to cure me, or they believe that this is a solution for their most of their problem, half of the problem has just went away,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a belief system they look upon, and they follow the process. And I think the whole mind has did a major paradigm shift from super negative to super positive and working towards it. So it
Exactly.
is all
Yeah.
our mind. Probably
It
will
is.
you
It's simple example one and once you just look at it. In the case of a diabetic patient, right? When somebody say I'm diabetic and you ask them what happened, what they say, my sugar is very high. They don't say my insulin is not enough. My pancreas are not functioning. They did not say that. They say the sugar is high. How can the sugar be high? Because you consumed it. You consume that much of sugar. So this is what I mean by addressing the problem with the correct technicalities. It is not that the sugar is high. It is because you're lacking insulin. You're lacking, the pancreas are not functioning. So that is what I mean by only when you identify the root of the problem, you are going to get solutions.
it could be also because of this Asia. I'm not sure about Western
Mhm,
countries. Whenever someone say I need help,
mhm,
you can be very open about it and say I need help. Then the whole society will start looking from top and said, oh look, he need help. Oh, he has this issue. So there's a lot of huge stigma that's going on. And people are
mhm,
actually very they want help. They want to seek professionals. They want to find solutions to it. But when they look at that, the labeling or the judging, automatically they're not motivated, and they just
mhm.
keep it to themselves, and then they push on, and then eventually they will crash down.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
because of
I
people
agree
are
to
not,
this to a large level. I agree to this because social stigma do stand, right? Social stigmas do stand. But the thing is that we have to come, that is where the mental strength have to work. If we need help, the reality is we need help. If you're going to worry what others are going to say about your situation, then no one is going to fight for you. Nobody's going to help you. Nobody's going to bring you out of the situation. So everyone should kind of come to an understanding that if they need help, just move forward and ask for the help. You don't have to worry what others are going to say. Yes, it might sound easy, but we have to face it. Like you see, those days, if I were to tell you, in my time when we were in the primary school, like if our parents were not doing very well, And we were quite shy to ask money from the school or the government, right? But now they have the student scheme, student help, and all those things. And people are approaching. The society has also changed to a large level. People have kind of accepting that, yes, everyone's life might not be the same. Some people might need help. And people are actually kind of accepting it. So just move on. We don't need to stay with this stigma anymore.
Doctor, I know this can be a bit of a sensitive topic, but I think it is good to that we address here. Of course, we will never mention names. We will never mention any of these locations or whatever. Over the past 2 years, of course, we don't have the exact figures. I got to do a disclaimer here, but there has been a certain cases where people decided to end their journey
Okay.
with forceful actions. Of course, we are looking at taking their life away. We would just want to put a lot of time in it because at certain situation that we actually failed that look upon the genuine response for our friends or the genuine when you look at someone they're always looking down, they're wearing a very pale colors, their energy is not there, and probably we're not even asking, we're nowadays smiling everything on the phone, we are
Exactly.
making appointments, schedules, and hi, happy birthday, and kind of, so we have lost the human touch. With such and more years to come, can this be a big alarming for the human population?
Definitely, it's going to be very alarming. I mean, just simple. If you go to any restaurants, if you can see a family of four people coming for dinner, and that four people hardly talk to them among themselves, they talk to the food. Yes, it is a very alarming situation. It is. It cannot be advised, or it cannot be suggested to anyone to follow that way. We have to come to an understanding that we need family time, quality time, and we need to really sit down with our family members or our friends face to face and start talking to them at least for some time. Yes, the question is can be very alarming. In future, what is going to happen? I am quite worried. In fact, in most of my classes, I've highlighted. In fact, some of my classes, I've made it a point that there's no ways you're going to touch the phone. You put the phone one side. Why? Because they call it multitasking. But no, this is not multitasking. Multitasking is not about you're in your phone at the same time you talk to your friend. This is not multitasking. This is foolishness. So we have to sit down, spend time with our family people, our friends, and especially if we realize that they have some kind of issues or some kind of problems that they are facing, face to face, sit down and talk to them and try to help them if we can help. If not, refer them to a professional.
I think in Singapore itself, there's so many foundations, there's a lot of NGOs and a lot of volunteering groups who are giving their ears and giving their heart and giving their time. And also a lot of psychologists in Singapore as well, setting
Yeah,
up a lot of clinics and a lot of places where, everybody can. And, Doc, I don't know whether this statement is right, but I think I should say this in my context, my views, that I think every one of us have went through a kind of a depression in our entire life.
definitely.
Yeah, right, Doc? It's just that we
Definitely.
didn't realize. We just that
Yeah.
we didn't realize.
Everyone who doesn't have depression, everybody would have gone through some kind of a phase in their life. No way, no one escapes. But the thing is that how you're going to come out from it, how you're going to face it, how you're going to handle it, that is what the challenge of life is. And that is where you need to understand the physical part of your body and the psychological part of your body. You need to understand your mind, you need to understand the body, you have to give attention to both. You need to work out, you need to kind of keep yourself fit, at the same time mentally do some meditation, read some positive quotes, get yourself into positive conversations. That is where you will learn to balance both. It's important.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for that. And we have a few more questions, and I know viewers are also sending their questions in. We definitely will take
Okay.
it in the last 15 minutes of that. But
Sure.
we're going to go a little bit more on the meditation and the prayer
Uh-huh.
because some people go to, we don't want to say wherever they believe to. It's something like if I want to ask, I want to get it. So you're going there. I'm asking, I'm going to get it. I want a car. You go. So the whole process here is a little bit changed. People tend to
Yeah.
go for exchanges rather than blessing, or whether you go to the place for peace of mind, peace of
Okay.
your whole entire body. But somehow or other, the whole thing has changed. Is it because of
Okay.
our environment?
Nature. I think it's the wrong kind of a marketing, I should say. Okay, just to I mean, this can be a little funny. Actually, a guy went to Buddha, Gautama
Okay.
Buddha, and he said, "You have been meditating for so long." He asked Buddha, "You have been meditating for so long. What did you gain?" Buddha said, no, I didn't gain anything, but I lost a lot. He said, why are you meditating then? Because he said, when I meditate, I lost my anger, I lost my greediness, I lost lust. When all these things are lost, the only thing that is left is peace. So meditation is not about gaining. Meditation is about losing the negative attributes in your life. But today, somehow or other, knowingly or unknowingly, I'm not accusing anybody. Meditation is advocated in such a way that if you meditate, you're going to get something. No, you're not going to get anything. The only thing that will remain in you is the peace. Because by nature, you are a peaceful soul. Remember that every human being is spiritual and peaceful. But unfortunately, we have a lot of negativity within us that has killed or hidden the peace. So what meditation does is it get rid of the negativity and bring out the peace back. That means the peace comes from the internal source, not from the external source because you're meditating. So people have to understand that. So when meditation, if you're going to meditate because you're going to get something, I'm afraid you're not going to get anything. You're going to get disappointment. So people have to understand the real reason. Simple thing, one another thing that I like to share. If you look at yoga, you see yoga and meditation are kind of linked. Yogas, there are many kinds of yogas, right? The basic is Hatha Yoga. By Hatha Yoga, they focus on all the physical movements, basically the breathing, the movements, and everything. Then we also have Raja Yoga or Kundalini Yoga, which is in a very concentrated state done. If you were to look at our ancient Indian philosophies or ancient yoga masters, they started off everything with the Hatha Yoga. They did not start anything immediately with Kundalini or any kind of chakra meditations immediately. No. Why? Because in order to activate those kinds of powers, you need to meditate for long. That means you need to sit on certain positions for a long period of time. So what they did was they trained their body first to accept those postures. That is why Hatha Yoga came. And eventually, when they mastered Hatha Yoga and their body is flexible and they can cross their leg and they can sit for a long period of time, they went into concentration of Kundalini Yoga and all those things. So even our ancient times, they have mentioned about physical and psychological connection. If your body is not taken care, your mind can never be taken care. So meditation without taking care of the body is actually not possible. And that is why, in today's sense, we need the physical exercise as well as the spiritual exercises for a happy life. And that is why we call it the psychophysical unit. I've seen many people, they do a lot of meditation, but physical body, they can't even move. I've seen a lot of people, they go to the gym every day, but mental state is zero. A small disaster makes them cripple for the next so many days of disappointment. So if you really want to be happy, the body has to be taken care as well as the mind and the soul that needs to be taken care. That is where you're going to be successful in your life. We have to
So yeah,
understand.
so what I'm hearing right now from you is a very holistic approach. It's not just one you'll get a solution, but you got to do a couple of things,
Yes.
consistent basis, and eventually that will become an habit of you. And then you are breathing in and breathing out. You don't need
Yes.
permission to breathe in and breathe out. I mean, that's what I put in a very simplest way.
Simplest way.
But
Yes. Okay.
yeah, no, it's very, very interesting to know that. And you also mentioned about physical activity. So we are going to jump into the context of healthy body. Um, Healthy body, is it something like just having like going to the gym and training and just purely that, or aesthetically, but internally every body part
It's
mind
gone.
needs anything, and especially because one of the viewers asked us a question. I think Ganesan, yes, we are going to take that question after
Okay.
we talk about this. So, in your expertise, doctor,
Mhm.
what is a healthy body? Every day go jogging?
No, no, no. You see, a healthy body, and you're going off? No. Okay. Healthy body doesn't mean you develop muscles every now and then. No. When we say a healthy body, first thing, of course, it comprises of the diet. It's comprises of the diet. When you say the body, make sure that all your body organs are taken care of. And your muscles, your circulatory system, your respiratory system, your muscle, everything is taken care of. And you're mobile. To a certain level, you're mobile. And most important, without pains and sufferings. You see, you can have muscles all over your body. But if you always have stomach cramps, if you always have intestine pains, you always have a lung issue, then what is a healthy body? It's not a healthy body. So when we say a healthy body, every part and every component of the body is taken care of. is taken care of. In metaphysics, we always say we like to talk about others. In fact, sometimes we talk to others, but we don't talk to our own body parts. We don't talk to our body parts, right? So sometimes we don't thank our hand. We don't say that, you are serving me, you got five fingers, I can eat, I can hold things. Thank you for this. You're doing well. My body is healthy. My cells are healthy. We don't do that.
True.
So when I say a healthy body, you must be able to recognize your body parts and you accept that they are in a healthy condition. And if you think that it is not in a healthy, good condition, rectify the situation immediately. You don't procrastinate, say next week I'll see the doctor, next month I see this is not a serious issue. We don't do that. Take care of every body parts that you think is not functioning well. And when that is achieved, I consider that to be a healthy body. This doesn't mean healthy body means you got no sickness. You must have the mind and willfulness to go and attend to it immediately. Pay attention to your body. It is important. See, sometimes you can see some people polish the car for 4 hours. Right? You've seen on Sunday afternoons, you see somebody will be polishing the car for 4 hours. But you ask them, did you go for a medical checkup? They say no time.
No.
So the car is very important. The car that they use to travel is very important to them. But the soul, which is traveling through the body, is not important to them. So that is where we have to. That is why we have to pay attention to the body. Is very important. No point having a mind full of spiritual context, but the body can't take the weight.
Agree, doctor. Again, a bullseye. Again, a bullseye. Amazing conversation is happening right now at Kopi Events with Dr. Ravee Vellu. He's a mind science consultant as well as a motivational speaker. Whatever he's saying, I think it's a truth, and sometimes it can be a hard truth. And some people may agree, some people may not agree. But
I agree, obviously.
Judgments and labels, and we all went through that before. But I gotta say a great thanks for all our viewers who keep on sending their messages, like Ganesan, thank you so much. Jayanti, RL, Bindi, Samuel, thank you, Samuel, and Sidas Das. Doctor, we just going to talk a little bit of faith, and then we're going to come back, because in every of our religion, regardless of whatever race they can be or may be, a faith or religious practice also give them a sense of purity, a sense of security, a sense of calmness on the mind. But like what you said, if it's become a transaction, then I want this, I want this, can you give me? Then is if something like go to a bank and you say I want this, probably you will never get. So faith is also very important in our holistic approach, and that's what
Yes,
you have
exactly.
also said before.
Yes. See, faith is definitely important, but the idea is we must know exactly why we are keeping a faith. See, in whichever religion it is, one of the most highlighted issue is gratitude. See, whether you go to the temples or whether you go to the mosque or whether you go to the uh, church, we go there. Yes, you want to ask anything, you can ask. You see, it's open to you, it's up to you. But the first and foremost thing is we should learn to thank God. We should appreciate whatever we are having, and we should thank God for that. And that gratitude itself is a very big positivity in the human mind. When you start believing that you're not a greedy person, you appreciate good things, you have the ability to thank God, that already kinds of give you a lot of positive vibrations inside you. So that is the purpose people should create belief. Belief is, yes, I trust God, I have faith in God, but God is not your servant just to give you whatever you ask. Yes, you have the liberty to ask. And if God wants to give you, he gives you. That's your own self. I don't interfere with that. But the foremost thing when you go to a church, temple, or a mosque, or wherever you go for a place of spirituality, is for the purpose of showing gratitude, is to make you believe that you have a kind heart. You are a person full of gratitude. You appreciate things. And that is itself a positive attribute. And that is the reason that gives a confident people forms up. Confident people came up because they have gratitude. A person without gratitude can never be easily confident. They will be more egoistical. The more you give, the more they want. They're never contented, and they're never satisfied. Their ego boost, but they think they're confident people. But the real confidence can be seen in people with perfect gratitude feelings.
Doctor, I'm really enjoying this session. I'm sure if viewers are enjoying it, so you can show us some of your comments here, show some supports to me, to myself, and to Dr. Ravee as well. It's an interesting topic. I'm sure we can engage Dr. Ravee for the next 10 more minutes for the Q&A.
Sure.
Unfortunately, there are many more questions that we want to ask, but we are keeping the time to almost close to 1 hour. So the next 5 minutes, we have Q&A time. So if you want to engage us with your a question, if we can able to answer that, yes, we will. But in the meantime, I'm going to take two of the questions that I actually have asked. Put it in short, Ganesan asked, the pandemic has actually caused a lot of triggering and people a lot of uncertainty with something that is unpredictable and uncertain, such as COVID-19. Maybe you can share your thoughts on this issue. It's like, giving a big huge positive face to avoid accepting a painful reality. So probably is, I think, is looking at the current situation that's going on right now.
All
So if
right.
we can just summarize it down.
See, first thing, Ganesh, and you have to understand. I mean, my understanding is that what is certain in this life, or rather, what is certain in this universe? The only thing that is certain in this universe is uncertainty. We have to get prepared. You see, in this pandemic time, this is nothing that is new to this world. One point of time, the world was suffering from rabies. One point of time, we were flooding with cholera. Then we had TB. Then numerous cancers came up. Then we had bird flu. We had SARS. And now we have COVID. This is not suddenly that is happening to this world. At every one point, when cholera was a widespread, for years, many people did not know what to do. They didn't know what's going to happen. Even when bird flu happened, yes, we were not sure for some time what is going to happen. What is the next move that we are going to do? So, uncertainty is something that we are not going to run away from. It's definitely going to be there. What is more important in the uncertainty is you need to be certain that you can handle uncertainty. That is where psychologically you have to prepare yourself. So uncertainties all the while, like simple thing I've been telling many people now that we, the quarantine and all those things has become a very big issue, right? But to be really very honest, quarantine is nothing that is very new to us. All these years, whenever we had chicken pox, we were at home for 7 to 14 days.
True.
So quarantine is not that it's a new word to us. We have been into it. It's just that the last 10, 20, 50, 25 years, we were not exposed to these kind of terms, or we were not threatened by this kind of illness. So now when it's taking, the COVID has come into the picture, we feel that's uncertain. No, we have been in uncertain moments for decades and centuries. We have gone through that. So do not worry. And my hope is that it will definitely come to an end, and somehow or other we get back to life again. So be confident, be positive. Most important is don't worry about the uncertainty. You need to be certain in that uncertainty. So be sure what you want.
Thank you, Doctor, and thank you, Ganesan, for the particular question that you have engaged Dr. Ravee for that. Thank you, Lakshmi Sega. I think a message is very hard feeling, and
Oh, yes.
thank you so much. Yes, we wish to have more shows like this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Doctor, we also have another question there. Truly refreshes what some of us have learned. This session, many may think and ask what changes after watching it. Are we gonna make any positive change? Yeah, he's looking at solution itself. Amazing stuff. We also have Jitan Ram. Thank you, Jitan Ram. Thank you so much for joining us, and a great pleasure to have you in our show. We have also Surinder Sonako. Is it true that God is already inside us? Yes, beautiful question. I'm sure Dr. Ravee will be very excited to talk about that. Do we need to wake that God inside us, Dr. Ravee?
Okay, good question. Good question. Let me just tell you, share a simple story, and then from there we know whether God is inside us. There was a king. Once there was a king, and this king had a very huge rock. He had a huge rock. So he gave it to a sculptor and said, "Can you create a statue out of this?" So what this sculptor did was he kind of take the chisel and then he whacked the stones, and he created a very beautiful Lord Muruga statue. Right, and that temple, that statue was placed in the temple, and everybody started praying. So the king was very amazed. The king said, asked the sculptor, "How did you create this God statue? How did you create Muruga?" The sculptor said, "King, the truth is I did not create this Muruga. Muruga was already inside this statue. I just chiseled out all the unwanted portions that was covering Muruga." So likewise, God is always present in every element, including us. But the problem is we can't sense him, is because we are clouded with so much of negative thoughts, anger, frustration, jealousy, greed, lust. Everything has covered the divine nature inside us. What we need to do is chisel out all these unwanted negative emotions, and everybody is going to be able to recognize the God. We don't need to see him. We will recognize and feel him. That's it.
I hope that has answered Surinder Sona Kaur's answer. Thank you
Well,
so
again,
much.
it's my view.
Yeah,
People have
yeah.
different views.
We are saying thank you, God, for today onwards. Everybody who's at our show, the first thing you wake up, say thank you, God. Whatever religious you believe, even if you believe the energy, or even if you believe in yourself, or if you believe in a certain whatever that you believe, be sure that you be thankful for that, Doctor. You know something? I'm already in a full of ecstasy mode right now, because
Okay.
whatever you are saying right now, pretty much I follow very closely. I channel every negativity or challenges or obstacle that is thrown at me, or something like a dart.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be positive,
Mm.
because we have to be in such a state that we shouldn't let external forces to affect us at any single moment. Because if we
Exactly.
do that, then you are giving the permission for other people to manipulate you like a video game. So
Definitely
you
right.
got to be putting the shield, Doctor. Do you think that we should put the shield around
Exactly.
us?
I can cite an example for this. If you go to the sea, if you take a look at the sea, you'll see huge ships, and you know how heavy ships are. They're tons, and you can see the ship is floating on the water, right? So such a heavy ship is floating on the water, and when can this ship sink? Only when there's a hole in the ship, it will sink. So, likewise, negativity is always around us. All kinds of people will be around us. People will put you down. People will be negative. Yes, it is. But as long as you don't allow that negativity to enter you, you will be always floating ahead of this negativity, just like how the ship is functioning. And the earlier part you were telling, thank God, thank God, thank God, right? Sometimes I just say, you don't have to really thank God. Thank your mother who has cooked food for you. Thank your mate who has cleaned the bed for you. Thank your colleague who did some work for you. Thank your teacher who have taught you. Thanks all those people who are doing some small, small work for you. Thanking human beings is already thanking God. You don't have to go and search for him elsewhere. That itself will
Amazing,
empower you. When
amazing.
you start believing that you're thanking and you are a grateful person, that is the true positivity of life.
Thank you, Dr. Ravi. I mean, you can see all the messages just are constantly flowing, and I know I'm getting some cramps in my hand. I mean, it was just a little drama, not say acting for Vasanta, but yes, so much of messages. Thank you. I think it has impacted some. And if
Mhm.
you are watching it, and if you think that it makes sense, and if you think that you want this message to be shared across, all you need to do is just press the share button so that it can reach out to more people, and we can engage Dr. Ravi and his expertise more for Kopi events, and we can all enjoy coffee at the same time, be blissful all the time. So definitely we are also having a lot more coming in, Doctor. So we have Sorinda's asking, will it be possible to conduct your lesson in English, as I don't understand Tamil that well, as my husband always attend your class? If it
All
conduct
right.
in English, I would like to attend too. Sorinda is a big fan here, Doctor.
Okay, thanks for the suggestion. I'll work on it. Why not? Sure.
Okay,
Thanks,
Sorinda.
Surrenders, for the call. Yeah.
So, viewers, we have just left 4 more minutes. If you have 4 more minutes, if you have a burning question to ask Dr. Ravi, yes, we can engage him and ask any final questions. Doctor, it has been a very, very fruitful session today, and I'm sure we can dive into more aspect of different
Yes,
element that we
correct. Yeah.
talk about. And I think it make a lot of sense for a lot of people. You see, I'm constantly receiving a lot of messages as well from a lot of viewers. um Doctor, a poison, okay, let's say a poison can only affect us if we are going to consume it.
Yes.
The same thing that goes to our mind is by the senses. Either we are smelling it,
Yeah.
tasting it, seeing it, or listening to it. All right, the five senses. But is there something that the viewers can take back today? I mean, immediately they can try it out with your expertise, years of expertise, that to be positive, because positive psychology is such a big thing right now. But unfortunately, people are only going to see a psychologist or getting help when they're only having issues. But what if we can find a solution before it even hits them, which means I'm preparing these walls so that even any single tsunami that's going to come in, the wall is protected. So
I
I
see.
am preparing for it. Is there any kind of expertise, doc?
Okay. First thing, if you want to get into this is all years of practice, to be very honest. What I like to tell our audience here is simple. Talking positively and living positively are worlds apart. In today's context, when people say positive words, I am strong, I am good, I'm this, I'm that, they naturally think they are positive. No. Positive, reciting positive words and living positively are totally different. So a lot of people get clouded when they think that they talk something positive, they are positive people. But inside, deep in their conscious mind or unconscious mind or your subconscious mind, their positivity is not instilled. What they should train is learn the attitude, create the attitude to be a positive person rather than just true words. So that is the first thing they have to understand. Only when you understand that I'm just positive at surface level or I'm a positive at verbal level, they will understand that they need to be positive at attitude level. And only when one is positive at attitude level, that is where the real positivity strikes out. For simple example, if I were to give you an example, I can be saying every day, I am positive, everything good is happening to me. Whatever that is good, whatever that is happening is for the good. I can be reciting this every day. But say I'm driving and I meet with an accident. First thing, my question is why this happened? My day spoiled. Why this guy is another fool that hit me today? Why must it happen to me? That means all the while I've been telling whatever that's happening is for the good. I cannot exercise it when the real situation happens. So all the while, verbally, I was positive, but attitude-wise, I was not positive. So what people should learn is when you are verbally positive, make sure you transform it deep into your subconscious mind and your attitude should become positive. That is where when something really drastic happen, they still say, it's okay. It's okay. And then they'll move on. They say, this is also for the good. I'll accept it. Maybe if say for example a guy made an accident and then he has to pay repair charges of 10,000. It's a huge amount. But if you can get someone who say I'm paying this 10,000, definitely it's for the good, because if I'm keeping it I might invest it, I might lose 100,000. So this happens for a good reason. I'm just settling $10,000 because if I keep this 10,000 with me, I might use it for my investment, which might bring a $100,000 loss. This is what you call attitude positivity. And for that, definitely you need trainers, you need teachers, you need guides, you need mentors, masters to advocate and inject this positivity for years. It's not one day.
Beautiful, doctor. Beautiful, and messages
Yeah.
are constantly flowing like a river,
Because that's what
non-stop.
happens once most of them, you see, in my experience, I see, right? It's very easy to say a lot of positive things when it doesn't happen to us. But when it happened to us, like we can go to a friend's house and for a funeral and say, it's okay, your father is in a good place. But when it happened to us, can we say the same thing? So telling your friend is positive affirmation is good. But when we accept it, it becomes a positive attitude. So people don't understand the difference. Only when you transform your positive verbal sense of positivity into this attitude positivity is where you're going to sustain whatever dangers or whatever embarrassments or whatever disasters that you face.
Doctor, I'm not going to sleep tonight. You know why?
Uh-huh.
Usually, I'm not a motivation speaker, but I'm a coach. But
Mhm.
certain whatever that you say, whatever you talked about, it's exactly
Mhm.
like I am hearing what I usually say. But it
Mhm.
usually doesn't happen to me because when you speak out of yourself. So sometimes,
Mhm.
I'm learning so much. I'm not sure about the viewers. Are you viewers right there? Watching this with your coffee, if you think that you are enjoying the session and you want more sessions to come by with Dr. Ravee at Kopi, please show us some thumbs up if you are there, right? I can see over 50 over people are watching us right now. Thank you so much for
But let
the
me tell you one thing about
yeah.
positivity.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to be positive, right?
yeah,
Right?
go
Everybody
ahead.
wants to be
Yeah,
positive.
yeah,
Even now, let me tell to our viewers, if you
yeah.
really think that you're positive, if you really think that this show makes sense and it can benefit, by clicking the share button, express one's positive. Why? Because you think that the other person should watch it, someone else should benefit from this. That is the least positivity we can express here. Even we can't do that. You see, most of the time it happens, right? Most of us in Facebook, social media, a lot of people will like our posts, but we hardly see people sharing our posts.
Oh yes, correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So why, if it is good and we think that it needs to be shared, I think we should go ahead. I think I should start following them from now on as well. I'll learn also. Yeah. So that's where the positivity starts.
Thank you, Rebecca, for sharing. Thank you so much, Rebecca, William, and thank you for many who are just already started sharing. Thank you so much. And I always say in the Kopi with Vans show that it's always a pleasure to have doctors or even expertise to come on board and to share their views. And right now, the viewers are giving their fullest support. So I'm sure you are definitely enjoying the session. So yes, if you do think that you want Dr. Ravi to be back again at Kopi Events, having okay, doctor, you are not having your coffee in your hand.
No, now no coffee.
No, no coffee. Okay?
No, no, no. I think I'm having some water here anyway. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
also drinking water nowadays. The Kopi Events is changed to water.
it's
To
too late for
hydrate.
the coffee, I guess.
Yeah. So we got Sharon here. Thank you, Sharon, Jenny, Sharu, Jenny. All right, more of these session, please. Thank you. And oh, now Jayanti say with Milo. Okay,
Oh, that's nice.
doctor. Okay, we're not going to say anything about the brands, especially, but sugar கொஞ்சம் cut பண்ணோம்,
Yeah,
sugar
true.
we need to cut a bit, but of course there's a lot of drinks that's coming with that. Thank you, Ganesan, for sharing these lots of love coming in. Doctor, I think we have come to the end of the talk show today,
All right.
and
Okay.
a lot of people have enjoyed as well because we can see, as of right now, there are more than 50 over people are watching this, and we covered in a lot of aspects, but I'm sure we
Yes,
can
we
do
do. We
even
do.
more. And if the viewers want, we can also engage another one more time with Dr. Ravi and his
Sure.
expertise.
Why not? Why not? If they really need it, then it's okay. Yeah, it's good.
So we have more asking if you can do in English classes, because he's saying that even Priya
Yeah,
also has
we
said
can,
that
we can, yeah. We can work
myself
on
don't speak Tamil. Dr. Ravi classes do
it.
contact in Tamil and English. Please do attend it. Will change your life
Mhm.
in a positive. Yes, thank you. She's also engaging as well. Thank you, Doctor.
That's
Doctor,
nice.
any final tip, advice to our viewers? I know you have given so much. It's a
Simple. I
record.
mean, based on today's topic,
Yeah.
the only advice I would like to give everyone is life, or rather, your life is comprised of two components. Don't forget it. You are the physical being, which is the body, and you are the soul, which is the mind. You need to take care of both if you want a happy, successful life. Do not think that if you go into the spiritual part, your body is not important. Do not feel that if you go into the physical attribute of fitness, your soul is not important. Both are equally important. Without your mind, your body is nothing. Without your body, your mind is nothing. God is smart, nature is smart. That's the reason it gave you both. Do not forsake it. Take care of your body, seek medical attentions if you need it immediately. At the same time, spend some time glorifying your soul. Like I always say, we spend hours decorating our body. We put lipstick, we cut hair, we shave, we do so much of thing for the body, but we hardly take care of our mind and soul. So as much as if your body is injured, you see a doctor. If your mind is not happy, it's disappointed, it's feeling sad, please see professionals and get it solved. Good night.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much.
And thanks a lot,
Definitely.
man. I really enjoyed. I was wondering how this is going to be turned out actually, but very well, very well. I'm happy.
Doctor, what's the best segment of this talk session is the first 5-10 minutes of chaos, but it was an amazing chaos, right?
Everything is
I
for the good.
yeah,
You
I don't
see,
know. I
you were
was
telling me earlier, that you are not a motivator, you're not a motivation speaker. You don't need to be a motivation speaker. When the mic went off, or rather the sound went off, you could have just closed everything and said, tonight we can't do anything. But you tried and you came back in the 10 minutes. So you are a motivator here. I'm learning from you here. I don't know whether I would have done that. So you
thank you,
didn't give up, you came back, and your life and your energy is still the same, and we are carrying on with the show. Life is not about what hiccups we face, is how we face the hiccups.
Doctor. I truly remember this. It became like a memory right now. That situation and challenges are ever changing for everyone all
Yes.
the time. If you expect for A, it will happen Z. But
Yeah.
even if Z happens, remember that is just one of the alphabets. It is
Exactly.
perfectly fine to be Z.
Mhm.
People do, before we end the show, people do get offended if they want a mee goreng and a young tofu come to the table. the whole world will be upside down. It's 360 degrees. Yeah, probably you're not living in the moment. We always think about the past, we think about the future, and we forget the current. And that is the
Exactly.
main situation for a lot of people, because they're not blissful, they're not
True.
happy, they are sour, they are angry. You can talk everything about them and they will not move. So I think that has to be changed.
Yes.
It's a
And just
very
let me
good
say
thing.
one more sentence before I finish. Just a last
Please,
final
doctor, please,
sentence.
please. Yep.
Happiness is not, sorry, happiness is not a bonus. Happiness is a salary. You need to work if you want the salary. You don't just look at other people who are enjoying their life and you say, I also want to be happy. It's not going to work. Though whoever you are seeing happy in their life, they have worked hard. So remember, happiness is a salary. It is not it's not a bonus. It is a salary. So you have to work for it. All right. Nice meeting you.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much. And we're definitely going to catch up soon. And I'm sure all the
Sure.
viewers right now are actually
Yeah.
asking us, when is the next session? When are
Okay,
we going
we'll
to hear?
update
When is the next
them.
show? So definitely, you see, even right now it's pouring down. So guys
Hmm.
and girls, women and men, ladies and gentlemen, whoever, boys and girls, if you're there, if you want to engage or rather say thank you for Dr. Ravee, the last 1 minute is yours. You can put in all the messages. I will just show it to Dr. Ravee itself.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. I really
doctor,
appreciate. I
so
really
much.
appreciate. At 10:30,
We
most of them are going to
yes,
work tomorrow, but they're still here. It's good.
thank you. We will engage again. We will definitely have to meet for coffee.
Sure, we will. Thanks,
Okay, I'll show
Anand.
you
Thank you.
the. There you go. All right.
Oh, all right. Sure, sure, sure.
All right.
See you.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thank
See
you.
you. All right. So that is Dr. Ravee, and amazing session, isn't it? We have spent almost about 1 hour 30 minutes, and it was such a fruitful engagement that we had with Dr. Ravi. And if you look at the messages, keep on coming in, and I think it does make sense because solutions to the body, to the mind, to the health, to the physical fitness, whatever you can call it, it's not just one solution, and that's what exactly Dr. Ravi Velu, the mind science consultant and a motivational speaker, had said that it is straight to the bullseye. All right, it's not beating around the bush. It is not coming in 360 degrees. No, he just said it the way it is. And I think with these practices, I think we can live a meaningful life, but it's just the kind of solutions that we need to look for. And also pertaining to what Dr. Ravi said, and I think I learned, and I'm sure you have learned as well, that life is ever changing. Hmm. Situations, challenges, obstacles, sorrow, negativity, your environment is constantly changing. You got to change for better. You got to improve. You got to push all the way out and seize your day, because only things happen for you if you decide to do so. If not, no one can help you. And a couple of few more messages that's coming in. Thank you so much, Farita. Thank you so much, Samuel. Thank you, Nirmala. Thank you so much. If you guys think that this topic is really great, like what Dr. Ravi and myself saying, please press the share button so that more people can spread it out too. Spread it out, and more news, more informations, and more sharing and more love. That is what is all about, kindness. Thank you so much. It's constant flowing right now. Thank you so much, Lakshmi Segar. Almighty bless you. Thank you, bless you too as well. Life is short, make it sweet. Wow, that's nice. Thank you so much. Priya Dashini, thank you, Dr. Ravi. Topic is very high opening. Thank you, Balaji. We have also have Chitra Pandya. Thank you, Vance. Thank you, Chitra. Viewers like you makes me go more harder and sees it for every one of us. As every Wednesday, 9 p.m. is the talk show with Kopi Events. I'm sure you will be joining in. Next week, another guest speaker is going to come in. It's a surprise. We will only let the news out and let the cat out only on Fridays or even Sundays, sometimes even on Mondays, right? To get the excitement going on. More messages coming in. Thank you, Surinder. Thank you, Priyadeshini. Thank you so much, Balaji. Great work. Thank you so much for all your love. Uh, I think we will be definitely going to engage Dr. Ravi Velu, mind science consultant and a motivational speaker, on our next topic again, which probably, if he is available, I'm sure he is, but we should have to check with him as well in his schedule. And then we definitely want to bring him back again at Kopi with Vents. All right, people, it's time for me to say sayonara, Narna. Adios, amigo. And I'll catch you so much. Yes, last message that came in. Thank you, Nirmal. Thank you so much for being a great supporter for Kopi events. Thank you so much. Okay. I'm going to press the bye bye button. Okay. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay fit, stay cool, stay funky. Right now, Vance, Kopi Vance signing off.